I wanted to give this a voiceover, so I'm just watching back the video in my editor while I speak. We'll see how this goes. It's supposed to be a speed paint. I had to speed this up so much. I don't paint speedily. But yeah, I'm going through 12 different styles just to practice, I guess. I've been wanting to get better at character design, and especially the avatar I use to represent myself in these videos. So starting with the style that I've more or less been using lately, here it is. Not a whole lot to it, I guess. And you can tell throughout this whole video, I do stuff in such a bad order because I was so self-conscious that I was being recorded while I was drawing. I don't know why I didn't just outline all the line art first. I think I started doing that later on, but, don't come for me. Yeah, definitely not the most efficient drawing process there is. But, yeah. I don't know if I should speak this whole time, or just have it kind of come in and out. There's these cute little music box audios that I'm using in the background for this. So I want to be able to spotlight that too. I think that the JoJo's one might have been my favorite. Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll talk through the process that I noticed about how I came up with some of these styles and designs and coloring choices. I chose Araki's illustrative manga style. Not really in the manga, I guess. It's more the illustrations. Key things: bright, bold, fun, weird colors, which is why I initially opted for blue, even though I don't feel like that accurately matched the avatar that I use, which is why you'll see what I do with that eventually. Strong combination of color work and like inking. I love that he uses hatching and cross-hatching. I think it adds so much. That plus the color, that combination just adds so much dimensionality. And it's just, I could eat it up. It's so good. I love the style. I wish I had more to say about it. It's like, the style is not quite angular, but the proportions that are used are very specific, I suppose. You can always tell JoJo eyes, you can tell a JoJo nose, and you can tell JoJo lips, but especially the nose, I think. Girl eyes are really uniquely identifiable as well. But I think the nose, for a JoJo nose, is super, super, at least from like part maybe 4 or 5 onward, is very distinct and identifiable, I think, for the JoJo style. So that plus black line work, I guess, are 2 things that I was trying to heavily keep in mind. Oh, and especially for lips, you're always going to want to do bright, fun colors. With the illustrative coloring specifically, you see some bright sheens almost on the skin that I think are really fun to include. Frieren, the anime version. Skin color was always kind of hard to choose for some of these, Frieren notably being one of them, because I don't remember there being any darker skinned characters. Like, everyone is fairly pale, and I think that's a thing in anime styles anyway. Not that the character I draw is super dark skinned anyway, but it's just kind of hard to know how to adjust it to fit the style. But yeah, the anime Frieren style is very pretty, fairly straightforward. The hardest part for me, and you'll see this throughout the rest of these, is hair. I struggle with hair because you have to pay so much attention to detail, and I get lost in the sauce so fast. Oh yeah, I like the shading on ferns for that. That's why I chose that for the t-shirt. Also, I know it's so embarrassing to watch this. I know I'm doing this super inefficiently. I don't know why I did it like this. I panicked when I hit the record button. And it's gonna show. You'll see what I mean in a second. But on top of just panicking about recording, I had some recording glitches too. So that's pretty cool. Yep, first recording cut out. Don't worry, there's gonna be more. But I did Pokemon. Cute style, very round and bubbly. Quick thing, Frieren, round baby faces, but don't be afraid of pointy lines. Oh yeah, then I updated the JoJo color. Now on to Demon Slayer. The hair shapes in the Demon Slayer style, again, this is based off kind of a combination of Ufotable, is that the studio? Their anime adaptation, as well as the initial manga art. Yeah, it's kind of a hodgepodge. The hair is really fun. I felt like Demon Slayer has a super visually distinct style. And I love Shinobu, my cranky queen. But yeah, it's a fun and interesting combination of angular, but knowing when to use angles, I guess, even on soft or rounded planes. And I don't know if I captured that super well, but that was what I noticed in general, but especially in the hair. There's also not outlining throughout the whole hair like you can see in other styles. This one, a lot of the hair details were just with the shading and shadowing. At least that was my takeaway when I was trying to, get this done. I didn't do the typical triangle kind of Demon Slayer nose because this one looked cuter. That's truly the whole reason behind it. Now looking at the finished product, the face looks a little squished together. If I could go back, I might put the eyes a little farther. I know it's like the 3/4 angle, but something about it, maybe I should have cut one of the eyes off more or something. They just look too close together. Another super distinctive thing about Demon Slayer style, the eyes especially, there's so many different kinds of eyes and ways to style eyes that are so just, so good. There's also no upper lip. It's very subtle, at least for the women. I'm gonna be honest, didn't really look at dudes for referencing this. Sorry to the male characters, we'll get them next time. Ghibli, I actually don't know how to say it. How do you say that? Such a cute style. I liked that I got to draw this. It just felt fun to practice something new in light of recent internet discourse. And I'll leave it at that. This was my first time trying this style, so I also didn't even watch Ghibli as a kid. I've seen 2 movies. I've seen, oh god, Howl's Moving Castle and The Wind Rises. And The Wind Rises I didn't even finish because I knew it was sad and I stopped before the sad part happened. Yeah, for the Ghibli style, this is not the right way to say it, but almost a more realistic cartoon style. Like, eyes aren't as crazy big anime eyes, they're a little farther apart. Things are still definitely more rounded, eyes don't have a ton of crazy detail. Like, the hair doesn't come to a sharp point, for example. And women's hair is, like, big and fluffy. I think I made a lot of the brown detailing on this a little bit too dark. Oh well, it's good to know for next time. I think a lot of the references I chose were in more dramatic lighting as well, so that's something that I'm going to keep in mind for next time. Just be mindful of the lighting I use for references. Oh yeah, this is like, I'm truly on my weeb pedestal for this video. It is all like anime and manga styles. I'll do other ones in the future. Maybe, if people like this, I don't know. If people like this and or there's other styles that I think would be fun to practice and learn from. But yeah, you can see me messing around with like the color for the darker shadow, and I'll end up going back to that eventually. One Piece! I love One Piece. Kind of hard to draw a One Piece woman in a way that's visually distinct, because love One Piece, love Oda. The women all kind of do be looking the same way. The only thing that could make this more One Piece would be big bazungas and an itty bitty waist. But I only want to do like bust shots, so. Now instead it just looks like Nami. Which is fine, I like Nami. I will say, and beyond that, I do think Oda has very, like, One Piece eyes. You can see it in the eyes and kind of the head shape. Also, basically everyone has a crazy long neck. One Piece also tends to have some paler skin, I think. So same issue there. I decided I was just gonna have some fun with it. I think I got the nose wrong. But I didn't care enough to fix it, because I don't feel like the nose is... I feel like you can be a little fast and loose about the nose shape, and it won't mess up being able to identify it as a One Piece style. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I can't tell. I feel like the eyes and head shape feel a bit more, and giraffe neck feel a bit more important for the style, at least from what I gathered from referencing. Oh yeah, I should also note this. Eyebrows and like if the hair covers anything, stuff goes behind the hair. Maybe I should comment about that for the previous ones too. But yeah, stuff goes behind the hair, I'm pretty sure. instead of it being like an overlap. I do not know how to do One Piece ears. That little clip, that is my takeaway from that. That's crazy. I think the hair for this one, I ended up doing a little bit of a combination of the manga style and the anime style, because the anime hair doesn't get very much detail. And I think I did the highlights wrong relative to the anime style. It was like a weird crossbreed of the two, and I'm not really sure what to make of that. Anyway, another skip. Isn't that so exciting? Sailor Moon's here, though. Biggest things for Sailor Moon is just like the way that the highlights are done in the hair and like the super unique bangs and eyes. Other than that, it's just kind of generic 80s, 90s head shape. But now we're on Madoka Magica. I gotta say, I made the hair too light for this. I like the almost sketchiness I did with the line art, and I made the lines not... I know in general, you're not supposed to use true black and true white. I cheated, and I did most of the time, but not for this one. This one I did like a blue-gray for the line art. Because most of the references look almost dreamy, hazy. And I feel like this helped with capturing that a little bit. But yeah, this is true white. I know that's not supposed to do that. I got kind of lazy. Still to this day, I'm still kind of lazy. That's my bad, gang. Minimal shadowing in this style, I gotta say. And the colors that you use for shadowing, for like hair and clothes, from what I picked up, are really fun. Not just a duller or darker version of the base color, but like notably tinted. So like oh no, I don't remember her name. Is her name Madoka? I haven't seen this in so long. Anyway, her hair shadows are almost like a blue-purple on pink hair. And then the highlights, you could basically call that white. I assumed it was like a light pink. And so I just did a light brown for the highlight that almost looks white. And then the shadow on this hair, I made like a reddy brown. Which I think is fun for this hair color. I just think that this hair color that I chose is not correct. But you could probably say the same thing for Frieren hair, so that's not that serious. Ranma Half, specifically the remake that came out last year, I think. I had never engaged with any. I know that this is a really famous mangaka. I need to learn her name because I've seen her style a lot and it's so cute. And I really liked the Ranma Half remake. It makes me want to go and read the manga. It's just a cute little romance gag manga. It's not super romancy, but it's very cute. Anyway, big, bubbly, just little baby cheeks. Lots of stuff is round. Some stuff comes to a point, but that feels like a more masculine trait in her characters. It seems like her feminine characters are rounder. Like, the hair doesn't come to a sharp point. It's, like, soft, rounded, like eyebrows. I couldn't quite tell what to do with the eyelashes, so I just kind of copied shampoo. But yeah, big, bushy, fluffy hair. And then I did not know what to do for shading for the hair. Basically, everyone has bangs also. So you gotta get big, fluffy bangs, and you gotta get a good shadow underneath those bangs. Oh, and I think the color I chose wasn't true black. It was like a really highly saturated dark purple or blue. Because that felt like it... I like that in the remake, in the battle sequences, shift to this really fun color palette where it's like saturated and bright and the shadows are all purple. It's like JoJo-esque, but like in this soft and bubbly style. Thought that was really fun. Junji Ito, I've read a couple of his works. He is so good, and he draws girls so pretty. I think I made the eyes too big. Because his girls are usually, like, pretty like a deer about to be hit by a car, or pretty like I don't know, pretty like a fox. Isn't that what the people say these days? I'm not trying to reference that, like fox pretty or deer pretty. It's more like she's pretty because she can eat me. Not in a weird way, like in a she's scary. Like who's the scary girl? Is it Tomie? Anyway, I love his more realistic style. I heard that he's like was a dentist or something and had to learn anatomy really well, which is cool. I actually felt like I got the general shapes down, like the slight curve of the cheek, the softness of like the chin point. I did the hair poorly, I will readily admit. Faces are super simplified. There's not a lot of shading. There will be some hatching depending on how creepy I think he's trying to make them look. I think I should have gone for a darker attempt at the hair, but at this point I was getting so burnt out with the process that I just wanted to be done. Because, as we've established, I don't love drawing hair. But yeah, simple shading, just some basic hatching, sometimes around the face, usually just under the neck. The guy she was interested in wasn't really a guy at all, I think is the name. Such a cute Yuri manga. I think the author posts to Twitter. She does this black and white style with these bright green accents. I learned recently that some people call it green Yuri, which is so cute. But yeah, largely based on Aya. I think making the hair darker helped it look less like Aya, but I love how this author does hair. It's so, like, bendy and fluffy and curvy and fun and loose, but still distinct. And she always adds these nice little, like, white, light strands. I think I've noticed she does hair highlights in different ways, depending on how detailed the panel is. But I like when she adds these, like, little flyaways that are in a lighter color. And most of the shading is just firm color blocking, except for the hair has a little bit more detail going on. Again, I think I had a similar issue as with the Demon Slayer style. I think I put the eyes too close together and maybe made them a little bit too big. But yeah, here's the full thing. Going line by line, top row being original JoJo, Frieren, Pokemon. So sorry about all the skips. Demon Slayer, Studio Ghibli, One Piece, Sailor Moon, Madoka Magica, Ranma Half, Junji Ito, and Sumiko Arai, or, the guy she was interested in wasn't really a guy at all. It's just a super long title. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.